What else was I going to say? I guess I'll stop.
Hello, I'm Helen Brosnahan. I am currently an assistant Dakota County attorney. I graduated from Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts, and then came back to Minnesota, having grown up in the Twin Cities metro area, and received the wise advice from my father of picking the best law school in the area for which one wanted to live and practice, which was the University of Minnesota, where I graduated in 1996. From there, I was a judicial law clerk for a judge in the 1st Judicial District, which encompasses the south and western part of the Twin Cities metropolitan area. From there, I went to the 3rd District in Olmsted County, Rochester, to be an assistant county attorney, and then moved back to the Twin Cities, where I currently work with the Dakota County Attorney's Office. I live in Cottage Grove with my husband and 2 children. My area of practice focuses on criminal prosecution of adult felony matters. We are a vertical prosecution office, which means we take it from the first step all the way up to the Supreme Court of both this state and the United States Supreme Court, should cert be sought. I have argued before both the Minnesota Court of Appeals and the Minnesota Supreme Court. I've had dozens of jury trials and exercise a significant amount of discretion every day in determining whether or not to charge individuals with crimes.
Hi, my name is Lorette Arnold. I'm from Lindstrom, Minnesota, which is in Chisago County. I practice in Pine County, and actually I should say I practice in all of the PIC, which is Pine, Isanti, Chisago, and Kanabec counties, the northern 4 counties of this district. I currently work for Ledeen and Hofstede. I've been there for 3 years. I practice primarily in the area of civil litigation, and since it's a small county, it encompasses just about everything. So that would be the real estate, your corporations, construction, family, and probate law. Prior to working for Ledeen and Hofstede, I was at Pine County District Court as a law clerk for Judge Krista Martin. I was there for over 4 years. Gained a lot of great experience there. Again, since it's a small county, we don't have any rotations and blocks, and we have everything that comes before us, or I should say before her. At this time, I also was at the University of Minnesota for my undergraduate studies, where I studied science and mathematics. So I'm very analytical. This, coupled with my insight, my integrity, my temperament, and my willingness to look outside the box, is what I think would make me the best qualified candidate for this position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did everybody get a piece of paper? We have a listing of the names of the people who are present if you want to take notes and know who they are. If you need a piece of paper, I guess raise your hand and somebody will find you. Thank you very much. We are now going on to the second round, and there's a set of questions that I've put in the category of judicial philosophy. And what I'm going to do is call 3 names at a time. I will call the names first. I will then ask the question, and you will have 60 seconds that all 3 of you will respond to the same question in the order in which I read your names. For the first question, it will be Ms. Hennessy, Ms. McPherson, and Mr. Penwell, in that order. And the very first question is, what are the qualities of a good judge? Ms. Hennessy.
The qualities of a good judge is the fact that, first and foremost, the judge has to know and be able to apply the law on the bench. Secondly, I think the judge needs to also remember that this is a personal endeavor. He or she needs to remember that while on the bench, anybody who comes before you is there. It may be their first time, it may be a scary or sad time. They need to recognize the individual person, the individual case, and take it on a case-by-case basis. I don't think that one needs to police the courtroom and a judge needs to be so arrogant as to not allow the occasional mistake or unprepared party. I think that a judge needs to be flexible.
Ms. McPherson?
Thank you. I think the qualities that are most important for a judge are a person who is one of great integrity, who's very responsible, who's very knowledgeable in the law, and who is very even-handed, both in the application of the law and in their temperament. As Ms. Hennessy indicated, there are a number of people who come before the court that are in all different walks of life. Increasingly, we're seeing a number of pro se individuals who are not represented by counsel when they come before the court. It takes a significant amount of patience as well as the ability to educate those parties who are coming without counsel as to what they need to do to effectively state their claim in court. And so I think those are very good qualities as well. Lastly, I would say that it is important that the judge treat the litigants that come before them with a significant amount of respect.
And Mr. Penwell.
Thank you. Certainly experience is important. I have 25 years of experience. Many of the other candidates have a lot of experience as well. We can't all just sit up here and say that we're going to be impartial and fair. You've got to know what people stand for and what their values are. The problem with judges are that they have a great deal of power and authority and not that much accountability. You can't depend on the Court of Appeals to provide accountability for all the mistakes and things that can happen in a courtroom. With all that power and authority and with little accountability, there's a great chance for judges' egos to take over, for them to start to think that they know better what the law is than what the legislature has passed. The Constitution is the preeminent document in our country. A judge has to stick to the laws and pass the laws as written. And I will be anchored in principles and values that will cause me to stick to the Constitution and the laws. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next three people will be Ms. Smits, Mr. Steigoff, and Ms. Arnold. And the question for you is, please describe a bad judge. Do not name any names. And if you have never encountered a bad judge, please speak hypothetically. Ms. Smits. There you are.
Thank you. It's interesting you would ask that question because I very recently had an experience with someone I would term was a bad judge. This judge did not know the law, this judge did not apply the facts to the law, and this judge made an extremely erroneous decision that impacted the lives of a small child. Now, it's very difficult, as it's been pointed out, to change orders once they've gone down and been filed with the county and served on the people. Yes, you can go to the Court of Appeals, however, that takes months, if not years, to accomplish what you're trying to do. So that has been my experience with a bad judge.
Mr. Steigoff.
A bad judge is a judge who isn't willing to listen to the case. That's his job. That's important to both parties who are there. We're talking about people that have such opposing views, they can't settle, and they need a judge to rule. To them, it may be the most important decision in their lives. For a judge to be too busy, or his calendar too booked, or not to be concerned. I think a judge has to be concerned with the parties that are there, has to be respectful for both of them, has to be sure he waits, like they tell a jury, to listen until the end, get all the facts in, and apply the law. As Mr. Penwell said, our foundation in this country is based on law. And if the judge's personal views enter into that, you're going to set yourself up for bad decisions.
And Ms. Arnold.
Thank you. Thanks for this question as well.